Hello. Good afternoon to everybody. Thanks, Sander, for your kind introduction. And thanks to Thermo Fisher Scientific for inviting me to share with all of you our recent experience with the new 6 Studio HID genetic analyzer in the Forensic Genetics Laboratory of the University of Bologna. Let me give you some background about Bologna and show you where we are. Bologna is located in the north of Italy, in the Emilia-Romagna region, and the province counts more than 1 million of residents. According to the Ministry of Interior Statistics, in 2019, Bologna was the 4th city in Italy for crime reports. The majority of crimes are related to property crimes like robberies and burglaries. And amongst violent crimes, rapes are the most common. Even if characterized by a lower frequency rate, also domestic violence is important to be mentioned, as often it is a hidden phenomenon. Bologna is pleased to host the oldest university of the Western world from 1088. And the Forensic Genetics Laboratory is part of the Legal Medicine Unit, together with the Forensic Toxicology Laboratory and the Medical Examiner and Forensic Pathologist teams, as well as the Bioethics section dealing with the progress in scientific research and the technological application of life. Being part of the university, the main goals of the Forensic Genetics Lab are research projects and student training in different degree programs. Currently, the principal research area covers the body fluid identification by RNA profiling approach and methylation detection. The influence of surfaces and contaminants on DNA typing, the touch DNA and its transfer, the analysis of the genetic polymorphism in drug response and toxicity, and STR's allele frequencies determination in human population studies. Moreover, the lab has constant collaboration with experts all over the world in different biomedical sciences. The DNA forensic lab activity started in the early 1990s, and today our team involves a small number of forensic experts and fully trained DNA analysts. The same situation affects many Italian small university laboratories. The type of evidence samples analyzed range from all biological fluids to human remains, as well as tissues. The DNA technology has been applied not only to resolve cases of paternity and kinship controversies, but also for individual identification in several criminal cases and for species identification. The request to perform DNA analysis come from both judicial authority and all private customers and cover all kinds of forensic genetics application. As a small lab, we do not have a huge number of casework, but we do collaborate with the judicial authority thanks to the trust relationship built during the past years and for our fast and rapid workaround time. Constant partnership with the law enforcement, police forces and prosecutors' offices characterized our activity. Moreover, the Forensic Genetics Laboratory of Bologna is part of the Jeffrey Group, the Italian-speaking working group of International Society of Forensic Genetics. So far, the traditional workflow for DNA profiling consists in a preliminary examination of the evidence followed by manual DNA extraction. The quantification is performed using the quantifier tier kit on a 7500 real-time PCR system, and we used to have a 9700 PCR thermal cycler and a very old 310. Each step, represented here, is performed in separated and dedicated rooms. We have an average of more than 3,000 samples per year run on the platform. Even if the lab equipment has always been under continuous maintenance, an update was mandatory in view of the laboratory accreditation and due to the discontinuation of the old platforms. For us, this was a challenge because the main source of funding is the forensic service for public and private customers. For this reason, we were aware that we could not trust on institutional or government funds. In fact, it is well known about the worldwide crisis of forensic sciences for lack of resources and a dearth of financial funding. In this situation, the task from companies and foundations which promote calls for research projects focused on social utility and local security is essential for small reality as ours. On this way, the first step was to replace the discontinued thermal cycler with the new applied biosystem Verity. Next, thanks to the Bank Foundation Cassa di Risparmio of Bologna, we could apply for funds presenting a project on the improvement of DNA testing quality standards for forensic application with the aim to help justice and criminal investigation, and we were able to replace our 310 after 22 years of great job. We were among the first in Italy to have the first capillary electrophoresis platform back in 1997, and now we are pleased to be the first Italian laboratory to get the new 6 Studio genetic analyzer for human identification. Compared to the old instrument, the 6 Studio HID fits perfectly with our needs and has many facilities and advantages. As you can imagine, the change has been amazing for us, especially for that concerning the maintenance and resolution. Here I show you some new appealing features of the 6 Studios. The first is the cartridge that has 4 capillaries for a total of 1,000 injections and a lifespan of 6 months. This allows us the flexibility that we need without wasting reagent, especially because the lab has a variable sample process rate. When with the slide-in and all-in cartridge containing array, capillaries, polymer, and buffer, there is a reduced setup and maintenance times, allowing a more efficient turnaround time. To give you a practical example, during the lockdown, the instrument was stopped for 2 months. And when the laboratory activity got back, just a PDS refresh was sufficient to put the instrument back up and running. This is very, very easy to perform. The only manual care is the replacement of the cathode buffer vial every 15 days and checking that the buffer volume has not dropped below the limit. Moreover, you have the possibility to combine fragment and sequence analysis in the same run. but at the moment not sequence and the HID fragment analysis, not yet. The higher throughput and the easy and fast instrument setup contribute to increase the productivity of the lab. Last but not the least, the competitive price was in line with our budget resources limited to a small laboratory. One more feature is the possibility to monitor data in real time from any mobile devices by Thermo Fisher Cloud tool, but unfortunately right now is forbidden for us due to the university privacy rules. We had installation and training of 6 Studio HID at the end of November 2019, and in December we started with the activity on the instrument. But unfortunately, we ran a limited number of samples during the past months, and we had to stop our internal validation due to the pandemic lockdown. Therefore, we don't have a great experience of all tools the system provides. So far, we have been conducting concordance studies for both HID, STR, and sequence analysis, and we also run the GetNA proficiency test in duplicate using both Identifier Plus and Global Filer kits. Moreover, since the 6 Studio enables us to have the 6-die capability, we are introducing in our routine work the new Global Filer IQC STR kit, optimized for K-source samples. And we hope to complete its internal validation as soon as possible. Now I want to show you some examples of analysis on 6 Studio HID. The main improved effect between the two capillary electrophoresis instrument is a definitely increased resolution, especially more evident for sequence analysis, as you can see in this example from a mitochondrial DNA sequence of the same sample. This improvement is due to the polymer POP1, which has greater resolving power compared to POP4. This higher resolution ability potentially could resolve peaks intrinsic to the amplification. But as you can see in this example of complex mixed profile run on 6 Studio HID, the algorithm introduced in the data collection software version 1.2 helps keeping the resolution similar to the traditional one, avoiding the call of peaks in the -1 and +1 position. In this slide, I show you an example of concordance study using Identifier Plus kit on both 310 and 6 Studio platforms. As you can see, the DNA sizing and data quality are comparable between the two instruments. But the quality system included in GMapper IDX version 1.6 is a very new useful feature for us. Used to GMapper version 3.2, and the headers indicating if the loci meet the analysis requirements help us to streamline the result interpretation. So I have no more time to show you more examples, but I'd like to show what's going on. The first step, of course, is the conclusion of the internal validation with different kits, including Wi-Fi Plus with 27 loci. And then we would to set up SNPs analysis on the new 6 Studio for forensic pharmacogenetics and Y and mitochondrial DNA genetic markers application. Then we also decided to upgrade the instrument for real-time PCR, replacing the one currently present with the new Quant Studio system. More, investing in the IT infrastructure is one of the most challenging tasks facing the probabilistic genotyping software. One of the main goals is to increase the DNA team, raising awareness of the institution on the forensic science impact on the society. And finally, to move towards the automation of the nucleic acid extraction will make the lab workflow more efficient. I would like to thank my lab director, the Carisbrooke Foundation, all the forensic group of the Legal Medicine Unit, the staff of Thermo Fisher Scientific, especially Laura Riccardi for technical support, and of course, all of you for your attention. Thank you.